Then it hits you. You got 16,000 kilometers to ride. It's July. It's 100 degrees. These horses are nuts. I can barely control them. I'm in a major city in Canada, and I don't even know where I'm going to sleep that night.
Yeah, which was that part of your like a rule, kind of a rule you laid out before, was you're gonna knock on someone's door every time, or what was that?
Yeah, it's just talking to these while I was doing the planning, talk to these long riders. They said, it's tough for you to set up places to stay because you don't know if your horses are going to get you there. Sure, you say, I'm going to stay at Bob's house tonight. It's 40 kilometers. Well, what if the horse is done at 20 and you got to stay? Then you're not going to get there. You're not going to push that horse. So you just got to get up in the morning and ride and see where you get to. Yeah. You know what it's like to have these animals. You got to feel them out, right? How are they doing? And so that's just the way it went. Every day you had to knock on someone's door and ask for help. And if there wasn't anyone, you set up the tent and highline your horses. And, you eat some ramen noodle and go to bed.
So for our Americans, I looked it up. So 16,000 kilometers, about 10,000 miles.
Wow. Look at this guy. Podcast star. Good job.
10,000 miles
10,000
right there
miles.
for you guys.
Yes, sir.
Isn't that, I think it's from the East Coast to the West Coast, 5,000, maybe.
Yeah. And so it's about that. Yeah. So it'd be going back and forth, coast to coast.
The last 10 days, I was driving about 800 to 1,000 miles a day in this bus, and I felt like I was going through a marathon.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And this was living.
Right,
I can't imagine riding.
You're going to Cheyenne from here, right?
Yes.
So when that hits your mind, you'll be like, damn, Felipe was riding a horse at 2 miles an hour. 2 miles an hour.
2 miles an hour.
20 miles a day.
So where did you go before Calgary? Where were you at?
Before Calgary, I was in Hermiston, Oregon doing a clinic. So that
Oregon,
was 10 and a half hours.
Just 6 months of Felipe's life right there.
Yes, sir. That's crazy to think about, man. 20 minutes in the car is a day.
Oh, man. And we had a day and a half or 2 days and we had a little trouble with the AC. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, the generator went out, the AC was out.
I was going to die. I really did.
So I was like,
I was taking like 10 cold showers. I was contemplating life. And this guy did 6 months of his life with no AC. I'm in with this luxurious life.
It makes you think. It really does.
That's a true story. I'm not exaggerating.
No, I know.
That's so good, man.
So
good.
Day one. So you knock on someone's door day one.
Yeah, day one. And the funny thing is, day one, I get to one ranch where like horses are tired. It's super hot. I'm like, I'm going to stay here. I go there. There's no one home. I was like, and it's so hard, right? Because think about this, man. Think about going to a stranger's house and asking to spend the night. Like, it is like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, no one does that right nowadays. And it's like, it's against every instinct in your body. So that was tough because you got all this anxiety. No one's home. Like, damn. So next place I knock, this woman comes out, cigarette in her mouth. She's like, how can I help you? I'm like, hey, how are you, ma'am? I'm like, I just left Calgary Stampede. I'm riding these 2 horses to Brazil. She's like, Brazil? She's like, there ain't no city here called Brazil. I was like, no, the country. Like, this woman almost had a heart attack. She's like, what do you mean you're riding to Brazil? I'm like, yeah, I'm riding the horse to Brazil. Because once you got further, it was easier. Right. Like, when you get to like Guatemala and you say, hey, can I sleep here? I was like, where you come from? Canada. They're like, Canada? Like, oh my God. Like, they want to celebrate it, right? But the first day I had ridden like, 15 miles, man. Like, it's so embarrassing, right? Like, I'm
heading to Brazil.
9,000 miles to go,
She probably thinks you're on drugs or
like 100%, right? Or crazy. But man, that was the best part of the trip, is the kindness of humanity, man.
I mean, literally the thought that just came to my mind was like, am I going to, like, you're the nicest guy I've ever met. One of the nicest guys I've ever met. I don't know if I would have said yes. I probably would have been like, keep walking.
You know what?
Brother.
You know what? You know why they all said yes? No one ever denied me a place. Because the horse is a common language, my man.
Come on.
That's very true.
The horse is a very positive power.
That's very true.
A person with a horse doesn't want any trouble. I stayed in the homes of drug lords. I stayed in the home of politicians. I stayed in the homes of people that had everything and people that had nothing. And it was thanks to the horse, man, through and through.